Hello everybody, welcome to Tinkering with Aaron. Today we are actually going to be changing some bearings on an old trailer. This trailer here was given to me by an old friend a long time ago, and it's been sitting for 2.5 years because the wheel fell off. We've decided today we're going to change out both bearings, put some new wheels on it, and give it some upgrades. So I did not film taking the old bearings off because, well, they were disintegrated. They were that bad. Anyway, what we've done is some of the toys. What we've done is some of the prep work, which was packing the bearings. I didn't film packing the bearings because packing the bearings is fairly simple, everybody knows. However, I did give it a thought and decided that I was going to try and give you guys a new way of packing bearings. And all it really takes is a simple, very simple plastic bag. You get yourself your plastic bag. You put yourself a nice dollop of grease in there. Once you've got your dollop of grease in there, you can then pull your bearing out, put it in there, seal it up, and squeeze until the bearings come out. Looking like this. And if you can't tell if that's packed, well, it's greased everywhere. And it works, and it's so much cleaner than doing the old-fashioned pulling grease out of your palm. So we got this bearings all greased up at this moment, and this is where we're going to start trying to do some of the assemblies. And well, to be honest with you, I may screw things up because this is my very first time ever doing this. This trick with the plastic bag was given to me by one of my closest friends. So I listened to him and gave it a shot. I did the first one by the old-fashioned way, which was this one here, which also, as you can see, is well packed, but took almost 3 times longer. So at this point here, we are going to be throwing some grease on, or in and around, so we can start putting stuff together. So we can start doing assembly. So I'm not going crazy with the grease at the moment, but I will be, because this trailer is actually going to be going to my nephew. And the goal for him is to be able to use it for pulling a snowmobile. Now, I don't know, and I probably should have changed my gloves. And we're back. Paused just long enough to get a couple of tools. I don't want to damage my bearing, so I want something that's going to be wide enough for it to sit properly on. And I don't want to force anything too heavily, so I'm using a heavy rubber mallet. And this should allow me to sink and recess my bearings without causing any serious damage to them, as you can see. And all I got is sticky stuff, because, well, that's what we have. Just so happens that I have a very large socket here we're going to use to finish recessing everything down. And that is how that is it's supposed to look. So we're going to look in the back. I don't know if this is going to show it. Yeah, there we go. So you get a nice clean view, and you can see that it's seated up properly on the edge. And you can see that we are still nice and clean, still filled with all of our grease, which we are going to be adding a little more. Which we'll actually just use the grease that we already, the dollop that we put in the bag for our initial explanation. Because, well, I'm an idiot and I don't like wasting, or I'm cheap and I don't like to waste. So, a little extra there. And now we are going to do the same thing with our rear bearing seal. Which is officially in place. Now we're going to go ahead and flip us over. And this is where I am probably going to be ridiculed, but I don't care because I'm going to do it my way anyhow. And that is putting a ton of grease on the inside. Which, I can't speak for anybody else, but around here, grease isn't that expensive. I have a bit of an abundance of it, so I'm going to take that and use it to my advantage. Because I do not wish to have these go bad anytime soon. And it is not, I do not have bearing buddies, and I am not going to put them on this, because again, I don't plan on keeping this as my own trailer. And to be honest with you, I don't see my nephew keeping it for all that long either. So there's that. Gonna go ahead and get the grease where we want it in there. Set the new bearing in to how we want it. Waste some paper towels because, as cheap as I am, I'm also neurotic. It's the best way for me to say that one. So here we go. So here we are. Ooh, yeah. Let's see here. How are we looking? Checking to see if that's all the way seated. And it is. We got all of our grease and our bearings. And they are. Would you look at that? Would you look at it? Just look at it. Okay, so I'm going to take a second here and readjust this over by the trailer. So we're going to try and keep as much grease in there as we can. We definitely did an over-greasing, and I'm okay with it because, well, I'm pretty sure I screwed everything up to begin with. So here we are, back to trying to put our hub back together again, and we're going to go and do this in the same manner with the over tightening of the castle nut. Oh yeah. That has all sorts of good grease there. Alright, if I do this right, if I did this right, this spins nice and freely, and I should be able to get my cotter pin through. Oh, look at that. I might need to go a little tighter, huh?
Are you ready to go?
My wife should come, my beautiful wife should come over and say hi.
Your wife is busy working. Your wife is nice and wants to make sure that you're eating.
Well, that's because my wife's amazing.
So your lunch is ready whenever you want to take a break.
Thank you, beautiful.
I'm glad that you remembered.
Finally. Alright. Take off some of the grease soaked. Gonna use my needle nose to close that up a little better. And now it's finally time to install our dust cap. Nice and simple. Make sure you're seated all the way properly. Now, like I said, my intentions here at all times are to overdo the grease. So now we're going to overfill the grease cap as well. And put the grease cap back in. And we're done. Thanks for tuning in. I may film doing the other side and see if I can't do a better job of it. Thank y'all. Hit like, subscribe, and make a comment. Let me know all the silly things I did wrong. And who knows, maybe you've got better answers for how to do this than I do. And I'd appreciate hearing them because I like learning new stuff. Y'all have a great day. And don't forget, sometimes it's better to do for yourself than to pay somebody else. Y'all have a wonderful day.